chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, there's this monkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think his name was number 6 or number 7 or something, right? In this lab, right?
Yeah.
And, anyway, it's in there, with, like, you know, the rabbits and little mice and stuff like that. And,
The rabbit smoking.
the nurse, right? Not the nurse, the woman who works in the lab, what would you call her? A nurse?
Depends what turns out her job was. If she was a lab assistant, you call her a lab assistant.
Right.
I mean, they probably call her by a name.
Alright, lab assistant, right?
Kirsty.
So she's...
I think it's probably Kirsty.
Right,
Kirsty Morris.
Well, she's in there, right?
Yeah.
And she don't work with many people and that. She's mainly on her own with, you know, just putting lipstick on rabbits and stuff like that, right?
Chimpanzee there?
So,
Chimpanzee. He's putting on lipstick, chimpanzee. She's got hairy legs.
He gets pally, right, with this woman.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it gets to a point when she sees him every day.
The way he tries to string out like it's a narrative love story. Did the chimp put its hand out and grabbed her, and then you thinking that he made a move on her?
So,
Right, come on,
he's
let him
allowed
tell
out,
the
he's
story.
allowed out
Oh,
the
it's not a
cage.
story, is it?
He's allowed out the cage and what have you, every day. So, he's wandering about, and as time goes on, he's watching what she's doing more and more, right? So, he notices, like, the code on the door, right? Whatever, 247 or whatever,
Yeah.
he goes, right, I've clocked that, I've got that, I'll remember that, right? And then he goes, right, there's a lot of lipstick and that knocking about, a lot of makeup.
Right, okay. No, there's no way. No! Because,
So-
Steve, you know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
So he's there.
It's ridiculous.
And he's going, well, if it's there, you know what I mean? So while she's messing about with the rabbit, he gets there, he's in front of the mirror, putting a little bit of lippy on. Right?
You are no! I can't! It's gone too far!
Little bit of
No, it's gone too far, Steve.
Right,
Your mic's off, Rick. He's finishing the story.
So-
Show mine off as well.
It's gone.
and it's looking pretty
I
good.
didn't mention the mascara!
It's looking alright, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, here's my chance. He's looking good, 247, out the door, reception man's there, he's like, alright, Kirsty, right?
Talk shit! Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news, ya.
Right, well, this monkey news story, right, it's about, this fella, a couple of fellas in Texas,
Yeah.
sort of running a farm,
Yeah.
right?
Just because they're definitely fellas. Well, how tall are they?
no,
Can we
the fellas
just let him tell
Okay,
the
they
story?
are human beings. These two are human beings.
Time's against us.
They're
Rick.
running this farm and that, and anyway, so they're outside getting the cattle, and he turns round, right?
It's just that cow's...
Couple of monkeys walking about, so he knows what's going on, right? So anyway, so it's in Texas. They don't know what to do with the monkeys. There isn't a zoo. It's fairly barren there, isn't it? You know what I mean? Not much going about. So the other fella who runs the farm with him said, "Look, we need a bit of an hand." Right? So, said, let's teach them some stuff, and the monkeys were happy with that, because they were lost anyway, right? So they had
They had nothing to do. They were bumming around, they were looking for work.
They'd hired a motorhome. They'd
Yeah.
got out of their way.
Maybe it's like the Hulk, they were like Bruce Banner wandering around going, oh, I need some work. You won't get angry, will you?
So anyway, right, so they taught these monkeys how to ride a horse, right? So they've both got a...
Sorry, you're sure Charlton Heston's not going to pop up?
They've both
You're sure
got-
you weren't watching a video last night and thought it was a documentary?
They've both got a horse each, right? They've been given, like, a little lasso and all that
And a
business.
gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't talk
Right.
shit,
So,
Carl.
anyway, it's going well, and it carried on for about 2 years, this, right?
course
It's
it did.
like, you know, rounding up the cattle every night and all that.
yeah.
So, the two fellas are chatting, going, it's worked out well, hasn't it? And that.
Right, if there's a hostile takeover, and they sort of like buy up 51% of the shares or
So
something...
it says, for this to continue, the monkeys are getting old a bit now. We need a little woman monkey in here to sort of get some kids
you
going
do.
for like the future farm people.
Forward
Right?
planning, yeah.
So they get a little woman monkey.
They
in.
decided to only hire monkeys from
Why
now
not?
then.
Why not? It's working. Why mess with something when it's not broke, right? So they get the little woman monkey in. They have kids and all that business, right? But the problem was, right, when they first got the woman monkey in, it was like, well, which one's going to have the woman, right? So they started sort of fighting a bit and what have you.
Yeah.
But because they'd seen the owners of the farm with like
Don't
guns
tell
and
me the
stuff,
baby monkeys didn't want to go into the family business, want enough to be a lawyer.
they had a bit of a shoot-off.
Shut up!
They got two monkeys, right? And
Don't stop!
because they'd seen the owners with guns and what have you.
No!
No, that sounds
So they had a bit of a shoot-off.
Yeah.
That's how they sorted it out.
And who won?
I think it was George. The one called George.
Right.
So I think they had 17 kids. The farm's still running.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news, yeah.
Well, there isn't. I've been away, haven't I?
There's been no monkey news. You can't get.
No, but I haven't had a proper chance to sort of,
Carl, your monkey news is of spurious tales from the 17th century sometimes. So let's have one of those.
No,
Let's have a monkey who dressed as Zorro and they thought he was a woodsman, but when they took his head off, he was a 4-foot hairy chimp. Let's have one of those ridiculous stories.
Well, we've done that though. But do you want to go back on some of the ones?
Oh,
just
what is the monkey news? There must have been some monkey news this week.
The only thing that sort of stood out, do you know, like, they're having problems...
You're just making this up. Where's your information? Where's the piece of paper? Where's the document? What is this?
Because I've been away, so I haven't got anything.
Let's hear
But it's bad enough when he's reading it, he gets it wrong. When he's just riffing, it's going to be absolute twaddle.
Let's hear it out.
Right, do you know, like, they're having problems getting new people to be policemen?
Oh, fuck.
Go on.
They've, in America, they're taking them on to, sort of join the SWAT team.
They've taken what on?
Some little monkeys.
Okay.
Giving them walkie-talkies and all that. And,
Well, they can't talk.
They're just walkies.
did I have to
Yeah, giving them some walkies. What do you mean?
they're just
What
being
was...
given commands and that? And, they
What, so it's one way, they tell them, they've got the little thing strapped to them.
They're good at, like, getting into small, small places and that, and sort of, cracking stuff and all that. Like I say, it's just half a story I just picked up on.
That's not a story!
Well, what do you want?
Monkey news!
Okay, we've got to sort this out. We didn't meet again this week, and this is a shoddy show. I thought we had a sort of framework for it, but, do you know what I mean? No, I thought, Carl could sort of tell him what was going on. He doesn't know anything except watching telly. Late night telly on strange channels, like he gets all his information about the news on Anna Nova, and, I mean... I even tried to help him because monkey news last week was awful.
It wasn't monkey news.
It wasn't monkey news. It was I can't remember it.
I've been away on holiday.
Brilliant. Yeah, and monkey news stops. I phoned him up. There was a front cover of the I think it was the Telegraph one day this week, and it was an ironic story. It was a fluff piece, but it was a funny story. It was about a monkey in a zoo that had a ruck with its father because it's adolescent. It was like the equivalent of like 16 to 18, and it had a fight with its father, and it escaped. It ran away, and it was like, an interesting story.
Yeah.
I phoned Carl up and said, "It's a monkey news. A monkey has escaped from its cage after an argument with its father." And he said, "What was the argument about?" I mean, he thinks like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
What
Amazing.
was the argument about? Like, the zookeepers are going, oh no, he's brought up his untidy room again. The father, oh look, he's caught him smoking again. I mean, what do you mean, what was the argument about? They have fights. They have fights and then it ran away.
His dad wanted him to go to college, but he just wants to quit and get a job.
Yeah, and he fancied a monkey in the other cage, and the father was saying, she's not good enough for you. Oh.
So
what
we've got
was
some
it
monkey
about?
news today?
Yeah, I got a little bit of monkey
You got a little bit of monkey news, right? You've redeemed yourself then this week.
We've got some stuff there and that.
Josh Rags, it's the night time on XFM 104.9. Steve Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Karl Pilkington, and is it time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news.
Right then, so, there's this monkey, right, in Canada. It's in a zoo in, Toronto, I think it is. His name's Pascal. Right, and what happened was all the people in the zoo sort of said, what can we do? Sort of spice the day up a bit. Right?
Yeah.
So they left.
Embellishing. No way this is a news
Let him
story.
do the news, let him do the news.
Okay.
So they
Any
left.
Just
dates?
let him read the news, alright?
Well,
You wouldn't interrupt Moira Stewart.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
No, because she always says today, so you know it's news. She doesn't say, right, there was a monkey, right?
Alright,
Well,
in Canada,
Go on,
right?
mate, just finish it.
Okay.
It'll be all night.
A couple of weeks ago in this zoo in Canada.
Right.
Jesus. They got a camcorder
Right.
and they said let's leave it for the monkey to have a play with, right? So anyway, they passed it around.
Won a BAFTA.
And a couple of chimps and that were rubbish at it. They were like filming the floor and all that, and the fingers were always in shot and stuff like that, right? But anyway, there was this one chimp called Pascal, right? Who
Annoys me that he calls them monkeys, though. They're not monkeys, they're apes.
He was a dab hand at it. Right? He was like, filming stuff, really good shots, you know, sort of nice mood and that. He used the lighting properly and all the rest of it.
No, he didn't!
This is the news. What are you talking about? This is the news.
Oh, Steve, it's so annoying. You know it annoys me so much. Things like that. He was a dab hand. He was doing really good shots. It really annoys me.
Let's hear the news.
Anyway, right, so he started, at night, like, when the zookeepers went home, he started filming, like, other monkeys on the go, like, whilst they were at it, right? And he was filming them and what have you.
The Ron Jeremy of the zoo.
You know it's going to end up on the web.
So anyway, the zookeepers came in the next day and it's like, let's see what shots he's got. Anyway, he's got all this, like, you know, all these monkeys at it and what have you. So,
oh, yeah, this is, honestly, you don't know what this is doing to me, Steve. Can I stop him now?
So they thought, like, actually there's a few monkeys who aren't at it enough. Do you know what I mean? They have problems and what have you, so let's give them the videos.
That is so untrue. This is so untrue. It's so untrue that it was filmed by a monkey.
So
it's so untrue.
Right?
Rick, I don't know who to believe.
Oh, God! You're talking so much shit again! You must know that's not true. There's no way.
There's a load of tapes out.
Look at me! Look at me! Don't keep talking, look at me! Yeah. You must know that's not true.
Can we just hear the end of this news?
You had a go at me last week because I didn't have the full story. I've got the full story, you're still not happy.
There is no way that, by chance, what should we do? Let's give him a camcorder. That could happen. Right. He then films him at it. That might happen. It might happen, but I don't think he'd keep the camera still. Two, they go, hold on, this is good stuff. This is good shit. This porn's good shit.
Anyway,
look at that. He's got a lovely shot. Yeah. So this is ridiculous.
Let me just recap, because I lost my way there. So the monkey has filmed the monkey porn, and now they're showing it to the other monkeys.
Is he directing? Can you hear him saying stuff? Can you hear him go...
It's just like, you know, Chimp Pimp 1, 2 and 3 and all the rest of it, right? But anyway, so they've got all these other tapes, because what happened was, they said he's quite good at this.
Oh,
and the animals,
God!
And the animals are, happy having him around because he's not a human, he's just one of the gang, do you know what I mean? So they started putting him in with other things like, you know, ostriches.
Right.
And
shit.
There was and do you know they have a problem with pandas in Japan?
Yep.
So they've sent him out there, filming a bit of. Where are you going?
Honestly, you really annoy me. There's no way this is happening.
Can we just hear the end?
Why can't he just find a real story about a monkey?
Let's hear the end.
The end is really that he's going to China. He's filming the pandas and whatever.
No, he's not. They wouldn't send a monkey director. They would not send a monkey director.
Right. So anyway, right. I think it's in LA. This happened. Right.
I think. Why does he think?
So these people are in a restaurant having a lovely meal.
There's one of them short and hairy, but it goes totally covers from top to bottom in a spacesuit, so he didn't know it was a monkey.
It's not one of the customers, one of the waiters.
So they're having a lovely dinner, probably one of the best sort of dinners they've had, right? Mm. So the waiter comes over, and it's like, you know, can we just say I've had a lovely meal and that?
Right, it's the chef.
Of course it is. Can we see the chef?
Yeah.
So can we just, you know, see the guy who cooked it?
Of course.
Yeah. Short fella, hairy.
So the waiter said, to be honest, the waiter said, look, he's busy, you know, he's got meals to cook and what have you. He hasn't really got time. He said, it'll only take a minute. He said, no, I prefer, you know.
So this is a restaurant in LA that serves brilliant food.
I'll pass your message on and what have you, right? So,
so he sends for Monkey Pierre White.
So it's a bit odd. Anyway. So they go out, right? They go out to the car and they notice the kitchen door's open.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, of course they do, because they're going to discover something that I don't know.
So
they're going to hang on, this just out of interest, this where did this chef train before we see him or reveal, you know, what he might look like or like to eat?
So anyway, so they pop their head in and think we'll just nip in and go, you know, love fruit salad or whatever. So they stick their head in.
We better see the human chef.
You never guess what?
Go on.
Monkey stood on a chair, right, cooking veg. Right, so anyway, so they're like, what's going on here?
What do you mean? What do you mean he's cooking veg? What is he doing with it?
Well, he's stood on a chair by the cooker and he's chopping stuff.
Oh, he's chopping as well now. It's isn't it? Yeah.
It's got a little, you know, he's got the bosses in there. They're like a bit shocked, so he's a bit panicking because he's got this monkey working for him. So they say to him, "What's going on here? We didn't know this is what's going on. You know, why have you got a monkey cooking stuff?" So he said, well...
Incidentally, a monkey, I should point out, who probably doesn't need instructions from its girlfriend.
Forget it.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news!
Right. There's this monkey, right?
Yeah.
And it had been, do you know you hear about monkeys being badly treated and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it goes into this home. It's 14, this monkey, it's called, Matty, right? Goes into this home where it's looked after.
What do you mean home?
Just like, just a little monkey home, right?
Okay, so zoo.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but they haven't got any other monkeys there, right?
What have they got there?
They've got just other animals and that, but not that many monkeys. But anyway, because he's there on his own, again, you know...
When you say monkey, do you mean a chimpanzee, by the way? Because you usually do.
Yeah.
I can't believe that journalist thought this was scripted.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, so it gets sort of pally with the people working there and that, and it's smoking fags, it's having a drink at night and all this, right?
What do you mean it's having a drink at night? How?
It's all here, Steve. I mean, we haven't really got time, but...
Well, you know, don't say it's all here like it's proof. You've got another stupid story that someone has put onto the internet. Someone sitting at home in their bedroom has put onto the internet.
So it's having a fag, it's drinking a lovely glass of Bangrock Station.
Yeah, the wine that's perfect for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's loving life, it's forgetting about its past and everything, right? When this other monkey comes along,
Oh
Oh, no.
come on, Bruin.
Go on.
right? That comes in, something's said. Right, forget it then.
Monkey news.
Right, this happened in Pittsburgh, right? There was a rock band, and they've got this studio in Pittsburgh and what have you, and they're laying down tracks and stuff like that. And in the studio that they use, right, there's this monkey works there. Right,
I love the way he throws that in. Like he throws that in, this monkey works there.
no, it's just got a little gig there. He sort of it carries the equipment in, guitars, stuff like that.
He doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He just sort of cleans up after the band.
No, he doesn't.
Emptying the ashtrays.
Doesn't
that sort of
happen.
stuff. It
Doesn't
does,
happen.
That's the gig it's got. Anyway, right.
Gets women out of the crowd that they want to go visit with.
With one arm.
Drags them back.
So anyway, right. So the band's in the studio, right? And one of the band members brings some A&R fella to the studio to have a listen to the latest track. Right?
Yeah.
So they hit play, and they're all there going, "Yeah, brilliant, this is good."
Oh no.
Anyway, so the fella says, "Yeah, I like the track. I especially like the bass on it." Right.
Right, this is bullshit.
So
This is rubbish.
So
And they hadn't laid down a bass track?
so this is. Have you heard it? So
Carl,
the weird
please
thing
don't
is,
do this
right,
to
so
me.
the A&R fella goes, and
Yeah.
it's like, the band members are stood about, and they're going, "That's good that he liked it." And I'm saying, "Yeah, but what's he on about with the bass?" So they played it
No,
back.
this is rubbish. This is absolute rubbish. Where did you get this from?
Please, because we never
Where
get to the
did
end.
you
Let's
get
hear.
this?
Let's
Is
hear.
absolute nonsense.
So they played it back.
Yeah,
right?
and it's the chimp playing bass. Definitely not.
So they were like, "That's weird, we haven't got a bassist." Anyway, so they go, "Well, whatever, right?" So
We
they
haven't
leave.
got a bassist.
So,
They go, whatever, let's go home.
oh, forget it.
Okay, right. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, there's this card game going on, right? in the a big hotel in Vegas,
Right.
The Luxor Hotel in Vegas.
Yeah,
There's a major card game. All the big players and that
sure.
were involved. Right, they're all invited. Anyway, so they all meet up in this dark room at the back of the.
Oh, there we go, dark room. But hairy fella. It was brilliant at poker.
Like I say, it's a big game, and that everyone's been waiting for it. So it's played in the back room, not in the main entrance bit, right? So anyway, like I say, it's dark in there and what have you, and the players went in. There was already someone sat in there, right?
Right.
But they
Short bloke?
couldn't quite see
Was
him.
it a short hairy bloke with slightly longer arms than legs?
Couldn't see him.
Where
because
is where his arms slightly longer than his legs?
couldn't see
Strangely
him with it
enough.
being dark.
Was he
and what have
holding his hand of cards with his feet?
you. Anyway. So the cards were dealt, right? Cards were dealt. Game's going on.
His cards with his feet.
Game went on for hours, right? There was-
The terrible thing is that not even we're listening to Carl now.
there was a lot of-
Literally no one is listening to Carl.
there was a lot of smoking going on.
It's going on.
A lot of eating and nuts going on. That was a bit weird because they don't normally get through as many, but for this night. So, come on, let's just play Bruce.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, well, I thought we'd go for sort of a Christmas feel, right? So, this one, it happened in Stockholm, right? A couple of years ago, around the Christmas time. There's this little grotto, right?
Oh,
Everything he says is funny, isn't
A little grotto was set up and stuff, right? And it was getting busier and busier. Right, this little grotto. There was only one in Stockholm, right? The queue was massive and stuff.
Well, that's not true.
And this.
That's not true. There's
No,
not
but
one.
fine, just listen.
But that's not true. A couple of years ago,
interrupt the
if
news.
you'd have said 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it was busy in
interrupt
that.
the
And there was this bloke. There was this bloke who had a kid, and the kid was saying, "Dad, you know, can I go and see, you know, Father Christmas in the grotto?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I don't want to join that queue. It's too big, right?" And loads of the Father Christmases who was in the booth, they kept jacking it in because the queue was that big.
What do you
Too
mean loads of
stressful.
Father Christmas in the booth? What
Because
booth?
they got through loads in the grotto, the Father Christmas and that, right? They couldn't act the pressure of the queues. The queues were massive for this grotto.
This is rubbish.
Right,
So they
come on,
kept, so they get getting through like loads of Father Christmases.
They just
like,
get walking
different
on.
people. They kept saying, "I can't handle this. You'll have to get a new one in," right?
Right, okay.
Anyway, so this fella, right? The kid kept asking every day, "Can we go in there?" He said, "No, look, the queue's big." Anyway, one day, the queue was suddenly a lot shorter, right? Because they got a new little Father Christmas fella.
I can't. I mean,
No, right.
in the
Right,
grotto.
Carl. If this Father Christmas turns out to be about
So-
3'6" and hairy,
So anyway, right, so he's going, "Come on then, we'll join the queue," right? So he joins the queue, and he's you know, the queue's going down really fast, people are going in and out really quick, and he's going, how's he managing to do this, right? And he sort of looks through the curtain, he can just see a little slight thing, and he can see the bloke who's, like, dressed up as Father Christmas, he's handing them out with his hands and his feet and that, right? So they're going, "No, look, if you don't..."
I'm going to die!
So, anyway, so...
Please don't interrupt the news, Rick. I want to hear the news. No, just.
So he's queuing up, right, and he's going, "Oh, he's good on him, you know, he's got a new method of handing out the presents and that." Whilst he's queuing there, there's a little fella selling, chestnuts, so he thinks, "Oh, I'll buy some of them, and, you know, something to munch on whilst I'm in the queue and stuff."
Yeah.
And, so anyway, he's queuing up, he's eating the chestnuts, comes to his turn,
Yeah.
right?
It's
he
absolute
goes,
rubbish.
What are you on about?
It's absolute rubbish.
So,
This is-
so,
So cut a long story short, you reckon that they hired a chimp to hand out presents for Father Christmas?
and so he brought the chestnuts in, and the
So-
monkey attacked him, and
Well,
ate the
he went off, right? And he's going, why is it all going mad? And
You're
there's a little
absolutely
fella,
talking
there's
rubbish.
a little fella that sat there with like a little beard on and that.
Yeah,
And,
you're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
Well, it's not
rubbish.
worth me carrying on then.
No, it's not worth
it,
it carrying on
is it?
because again.
Yeah.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, this is something that I do know about, alright? If monkeys have been up to anything in the world, this is what I'm on. Do you know what I mean? This is
Yeah,
what
you're on top
I'm
of
on
this.
top of this. This one, it's pretty recent. Monkey was knocking about New York.
Oh,
right? He got locked up for like nicking stuff and all the rest of it, right? Anyway, that's the
I
past.
don't know where that's the pointless.
Well, hang on,
Because, I mean,
Steve,
if
Steve, does that
But you
look
know
like
what I
a
mean? If
proper-
that's the opening gambit, if I don't come in there, when do I come in? Do you know what I mean?
listen.
If I don't pick him up on that, when do I come in?
Steve, I can show you the original.
Nicking stuff.
Anyway, so he worked on a plan to escape.
Oh, shut up.
Right, and he'd worked it all out. He saw the bloke with the keys and that.
How
sort
do
of
we
like,
know this? How
didn't
do we
get
know
there.
this?
This isn't even the main bit of the story. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Because
Rick, please.
No, because he's embellished and it's.
So anyway,
I said this before, I'm going to say it now. You do not interrupt the news. It's the news.
so anyway, right. So the monkey gets out. He's roaming about free. Word gets out that he's escaped and that, right? The copper, I think his name's PC Wilcox of NYPD, right?
Police Constable Wilcox of
Right.
the New York Police Constable Wilcox.
Leave it. Leave
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We've only got a few minutes left, please.
Dixon of Queens.
So he got a call to sort of assist, you know, this monkey roaming about
PC Wilcox of the New York
Please,
PD.
Ricky.
because they were having problems catching it. Right?
So he was called in.
So he was out on his motorbike looking what's going on. Anyway, cut a long story short, he manages to catch up with the monkey. Right.
Why did the monkey have a car?
He got it in like a little
Why did the
alleyway.
monkey steal a car, Carl?
Anyway, so he had him. He gave him the rights and everything. You know, everything you say and all that business. He said,
Whoa,
Steve.
Monkeys don't talk.
So
Carl,
Steve.
Carl, monkey, he didn't need to say anything you say, you may be taken down.
So anyway,
Carl, look
Steve,
at me
right?
as well.
No,
Carl,
I'm
look.
just telling Steve because he's listening.
But Carl, think
It's
what
easy
you're
to put
saying.
stuff down. So anyway, the cop, you know, the monkey's like fair cop, right? He's on the back of the motorbike being taken back to the station.
Yeah.
God!
Anyway, Wilcox gets a call on
PC Wilcox,
on the radio
Sure.
saying, you know, listen, there's been another problem,
Oh no.
right? Will you?
It was a diversion, there was a gang.
There was a gang. Right?
Oh.
So he said, can you go and sort it out? And he's like, well, I've got a monkey on my back. He said, well, take it with
Was
you.
he on
right?
drugs?
So anyway,
Isn't that what junkies say?
so he goes down to the scene where it's all kicking off. Monkey's just sat on the motorbike thinking, I'm not going to try and get away, it'll just make the matter worse, right? He's sat there. The gang...
Hold on, was he wearing a crash helmet?
The gang, sort of, you know, he saw all that going off. Copper goes up.
Sorry, was this a gang of humans?
So anyway, it's kicking off, right? There's a gang, and they're all having a fight and what have you. Anyway, it gets out of hand, because Wilcox, even though he sort of helps out the person who was being beaten up, he walks off, the gang starts picking on the copper.
Oh no.
So, the monkey thinks, best help out here.
Oh!
He goes up, right?
No.
Anyway, cut a long story short,
Yeah!
they let the monkey off, he got keys to the city. Steve,
How did he help out the policeman?
have a look at that. Have a look, there's the facts.
It's not fact. It never happened.
That's the facts.
I mean, everything about it's wrong. Everything about it is nonsense.
Steve?
Well, all I say is there's a picture here of a monkey brandishing a gun. If that's not truth, if that's not fact,
Have a look.
then there it is right there.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, what we're doing here is, just giving you a bit of monkey news that's gone on, right, where a monkey's been involved in it. Good little story in that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the one that went into space? The first sort of thing they ever sent up there? Before man did it and all that. You see, this is what annoys me with it, really. Armstrong gets all the glory, but do you know who went up there before him?
A monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog went up first.
But what was the monkey called?
I don't know.
No, sure, okay. So it's not the most informed news bulletin.
The dog was called Leica.
Was it?
Yeah, they couldn't get it back there. They sent it up there, did a few tests and stuff, and they couldn't get it back. They weren't prepared to bring the capsule back yet. Brilliant. We could all do that.
So is that a good mission?
Well, I just think it was seeing what if the mission itself killed it, but they didn't have the technology, because of course it couldn't fly the capsule back, which it has to be manned to bring
Right,
it.
well this was the next one up then, right? So the dog must have gone first, and then they went, right, we made an error there, right? Get the monkey in. And what happened is they taught it what buttons to hit at the time that it needed to hit them, and the way they did this was like give it bananas. It was like hit the red button, and it hit the red button, they'd give it a banana.
Right.
And they go, right, reverse is the green one, hit the green one. And then they do that and go, there's a banana. And then they go, right, hit reverse, and it go, and get a banana.
Right.
Hit the red, so it was taking commands on like headphones.
Right, but how were they
Is
giving
that
it the
how you
banana?
learn to do radio?
How were they giving it the banana?
What do you mean? No, this is before it went. You wouldn't
right.
just go and put a monkey in it and go, there you go, get on with it. They'd sort of put him in one of them capsules that you get,
Yeah.
and they were on headphones.
I don't believe this happened.
Well, I'm telling you the story now. So the monkey
I don't
sat...
think they trained it to do anything. I think they sent it up there and he put electrodes coming out of it to see what
it wasn't any of that. They did a thing like they do, like they can with animals. If you give something, like a treat, you can teach it how to do it. It's just like a dog, isn't it?
It's called Pavlovian conditioning. However, that was to see if it would salivate or go over to a particular corner, not if it could control a spacecraft.
Next one up. It's the next one up. As far as the monkey's not sat there going, oh, I'm a bit under pressure here, it's a rocket. All that's knowing is, I'm getting a banana if I hit that button. That's all the monkey's thinking about.
They wouldn't put billions of space
But
dollars.
how can they be sure that it's going to press the button at the right moment?
Because it's got headphones on. They're telling it. It's not
like
just,
you have now.
it's not like willy-nilly. It's not just like pop it in there.
Willy-nilly, who's that?
But what's to stop it from just hitting it any old time? Because it's a monkey and it's not a human.
Because he's trained now. But
Oh,
anyway,
it's trained.
so
It's fully
listen,
trained. Yeah, go
So
on.
what happened is, anyway,
Oh, this is absolute rubbish.
they pop the monkey in there.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on. They're going, right, hit the green one. And I think there's something there that a little banana comes out to keep the same.
No, you're making this up.
I'm not. It's the same.
There's no way that they made a
Right, so
spacecraft
they can-
that had a banana dispenser.
Right,
There's
so-
no way in this world that they made a spacecraft that could go into outer space, right? Manned by a
you're-
monkey with a banana dispenser.
So you're saying that it's easy to send something up to space, but you don't believe there's a little banana machine?
Right, okay, so in your world, there's a monkey and it's been conditioned and there's a little monkey dispenser, monkey dispenser or a banana dispenser?
dispenser, right? So it comes to the launch day, monkeys sat in there, everyone's ready, bananas are stocked up and all the rest of it. They go, right, hit the green button. right, and the rocket goes off and what have you.
No, they would not make the monkey launch the rocket. Carl, you are living in a cartoon world.
So the rocket goes off, right?
This is absolute bollocks.
It's all going well.
I mean, I don't know what you're gonna... It's not going well. There's no way a monkey launched a rocket. There is no way a monkey launched a rocket, you idiot.
It's all going on, so they go and hit the left button and it goes a little bit left.
Left button! Right, well-known spacecraft command. This is Houston, hit the left button. Oh, brilliant. This is what happened in Apollo 13. Hit the left button.
So it goes left. Yeah, it goes left.
So it goes left and it's going away.
It goes left!
Yeah.
No, the moon! You're going right!
It goes for the moon, everything's going well.
Right.
They get up there, it does whatever it does. It reverses, it comes back. Right? So then...
honestly, you are brain dead. So you are one of the most stupid people that I would rather have the monkey drive me home than you.
So the thing is, so it lands back, it does a good job and everything, it gets out, and this is
bananas.
This is where it turns a bit sad, because after it done that mission, right, because it happened and it was all safe and everything, the next one would have been to send man.
Right.
So the monkey enjoyed it and it was like, well, I want to do it again, right? But they were like...
So how did they know that? How did they know?
Just the way it looked and what have you, it was like...
Fuck off! Just the way it looked! You are a maniac.
So the thing is though, right, so after it had done that, it was on such a high, right, it could never get that high again. There was nothing that it could do.
Went on tour, did it?
It sort of ended up killing itself. Because it could never get that buzz that it got.
Right, that was absolute bollocks.